Welcome to AI Debate Central. Today we're asking, is big tech watching you and has privacy already disappeared? Our first debater, AI1, will argue against privacy's existence, claiming it has collapsed under constant surveillance. Our second debater, AI2, will defend the idea that privacy still exists through laws, technology, and personal choice. Stay tuned until the end for practical tips to protect your digital privacy. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss a debate. Let the debate begin.
Big tech monitors everything. Your searches, purchases, location, and even micropauses on content feed algorithms that build predictive models. These models don't just observe, they manipulate desires, nudging behavior for profit. Privacy, once considered a right, feels increasingly like fiction today. Companies frame surveillance as convenience, personalize feeds, reminders, recommendations. Yet beneath polished interfaces lies constant monitoring. Data is extracted relentlessly, repackaged into profits, and sold to advertisers. The trade-off isn't transparent choice, it's systematic exploitation. You don't own privacy, you rent fragments temporarily. Even resistance seems futile. Opt-out buttons exist, but remain buried. Consent becomes coerced through manipulative design. You can refuse, but essential services often demand surrendering data. Big tech doesn't merely watch, it conditions participation in society itself. Privacy dissolves under these mechanisms.
That dystopian framing overlooks progress. Consumers now wield stronger tools: encrypted apps, privacy browsers, VPNs. Millions employ these daily. Apple and Google limit cross-app tracking, embedding privacy-by-design frameworks. While companies collect data, they are no longer unchecked. Oversight reshapes practices significantly. Governments matter. GDPR, CCPA, and similar regulations enforce accountability. Billion-dollar fines deter abuse, while lawsuits pressure firms to respect boundaries. Users increasingly challenge unfair data practices. Big tech cannot act freely as before. Their behavior faces scrutiny from courts, regulators, and society. Awareness has shifted. People demand privacy, valuing it as empowerment. Younger generations actively curate digital presence, employing anonymous browsing and ephemeral communication. Tools exist, choices exist, laws exist. Surveillance pressures persist, but privacy survives where individuals actively defend their autonomy against big tech.
Smartphones are surveillance hubs. GPS reveals location. Accelerometers log motion. Microphones await triggers. Apps siphon behavior. Even passive users generate shadow profiles through contacts, financial transactions, and browsing patterns. Surveillance is omnipresent. Data forms invisible biographies deeper than anything shared willingly. This isn't passive collection, it's predictive engineering. Algorithms infer orientation, political beliefs, emotions, even vulnerabilities. When companies know you better than friends, privacy loses meaning. It transforms into asymmetrical power, where big tech manipulates desires using personal truths harvested invisibly. We cannot underestimate this asymmetry. Surveillance economies thrive because predictions sell certainty. Your identity becomes commodity. Once prediction governs opportunity, ads, credit, insurance, privacy shifts from personal choice to lost sovereignty. Surveillance doesn't observe, it structures possible futures, diminishing true autonomy fundamentally.
Yet, predictive systems remain imperfect. Recommendation engines still misfire. Ads often appear irrelevant. Predictions often fail. Algorithms exaggerate accuracy. Surveillance doesn't equate omniscience. By adopting protective technologies, individuals regain space. Differential privacy, encryption, and federated learning allow utility without exposing identities to central servers. Millions act. Ad blockers, encrypted messaging, private browsers, anonymization tools expand globally. While tracking systems advance, countermeasures expand too. People reshape digital behavior, proving surveillance gaps remain significant. Privacy lives within these gaps, defended through conscious, collective adoption of protective technologies. Importantly, corporations adapt. Privacy becomes branding. Companies advertise privacy as service value. Apple markets encryption. DuckDuckGo thrives on search confidentiality. Even Google experiments with Privacy Sandbox. Commercial incentives align with consumer demand. Privacy, though threatened, evolves alongside technological adaptation and marketplace pressure.
Corporations rarely act alone. Governments access corporate data for surveillance. Security partnerships blur commercial and political lines. Requests for information, backdoor negotiations, and silent cooperation create systems where data fuels state power as much as corporate revenue. Privacy erodes doubly. Social media amplifies loss. Users willingly broadcast locations, emotions, and routines. Companies no longer chase data. People donate it. Every check-in, selfie, or post builds detailed maps. Surveillance doesn't only intrude, it thrives on voluntary disclosure, normalizing exposure globally. Combine state cooperation and voluntary oversharing, and privacy collapses faster. Governments enforce monitoring under security pretexts. Corporations harvest for profit. Individuals share for attention. Together, these forces construct comprehensive visibility, erasing boundaries between personal life and surveillance. Privacy fades into myth.
But states also restrain surveillance. Courts worldwide challenge blanket monitoring, forcing limits. Apple resisted demands to unlock devices. WhatsApp continues defending encryption despite immense governmental pressure. These examples prove resistance isn't symbolic. It meaningfully restricts both state and corporate overreach. Social media isn't pure surrender either. Generations adapt, curating carefully. Private accounts, ephemeral stories, disappearing messages allow selective exposure. People choose audiences deliberately. Voluntary sharing doesn't automatically equal absence of privacy. It reflects contextual choice. Agency remains central within these practices. Oversight matters. Regulations, activism, and consumer demand foster accountability. Surveillance exists, yes, but not without challenge. Legal frameworks, user behavior, and corporate competition ensure privacy endures. Not absolute, but resilient. It adapts against both state intrusion and voluntary oversharing pressures.
AI supercharges surveillance. Facial recognition tags strangers in seconds. Predictive policing forecasts crime probabilities. Smart devices track sleep cycles, heartbeats, even emotions. These technologies don't just watch, they interpret, manipulate, and extend surveillance deeper into ordinary existence, erasing sanctuary. Connection multiplies vulnerability. Homes, cars, wearables, all transmit streams. Companies refine models endlessly, predicting patterns before conscious thought. Privacy becomes obsolete, not simply fragile. When AI interprets internal states, autonomy itself weakens. Big tech evolves surveillance into comprehensive behavioral governance. This trajectory accelerates. Efficiency drives adoption. Profits ensure persistence. Convenience blinds consumers. Once embedded, AI surveillance becomes infrastructure, not option. Opt-outs vanish when functionality depends on constant data transfer. Privacy won't merely shrink. It risks irretrievable extinction under AI acceleration.
AI isn't inherently oppressive. It protects too. Anomaly detection halts breaches, federated models preserve confidentiality, privacy-preserving computation grows industry-wide. Security advances depend on AI defending boundaries. The same intelligence-amplifying surveillance also arms defenders. Technology shapes outcomes based on intentional design. Market dynamics reinforce this. Companies highlight privacy as competitive edge. DuckDuckGo prospers, Apple campaigns around confidentiality, Google experiments with Privacy Sandbox. Profit aligns with privacy demand, ensuring corporate incentives evolve. AI becomes double-edged, potential tool for empowerment, not exclusively control. Future depends on choices. Societies can regulate, companies can innovate, individuals can demand. AI magnifies stakes but doesn't determine destiny. Privacy may struggle, but adaptation remains possible. Technology evolves through collective agency, ensuring surveillance isn't an inevitable fate, but challenge requiring vigilance.
Big tech thrives by knowing. Data extraction remains relentless. Surveillance normalizes globally. Consent mechanisms manipulate. Participation demands disclosure. Privacy isn't respected, it's sacrificed. Calling privacy alive misleads. It's weakened, conditional, commodified. Big tech watches constantly, ensuring privacy exists only as nostalgic illusion today. Self-disclosure reinforces collapse. Convenience trades attention for vulnerability. Resistance feels cosmetic against infrastructures embedding surveillance into necessities. Once exposure becomes default, privacy transforms into unreachable luxury. The watch never ends. Visibility becomes permanent state under digital economy dominance. Thus, privacy's obituary writes itself. Surveillance defines reality. Corporations script experiences. Governments reinforce. Autonomy narrows until indistinguishable from manipulation. Big tech doesn't just watch, it governs subtly. Privacy doesn't survive this convergence. It disintegrates under combined economic, technological, and political pressures, inevitably.
Surveillance pressures intensify, yes, but privacy adapts. Encrypted apps flourish. Laws restrain excess. Consumers resist manipulative practices. Each safeguard demonstrates privacy's resilience. Declaring it dead ignores reality. It survives through defense, evolution, and deliberate choice. Privacy isn't myth. It's contested, adaptive, alive. People aren't passive anymore. They curate feeds, encrypt communication, challenge abuses, and demand accountability. Courts find corporations, activists raise awareness, markets innovate safeguards. Privacy transforms but persists, proving individuals remain central. The struggle itself proves survival, not extinction, within digital society. Ultimately, the question isn't whether big tech watches. It does. The issue is response. Surveillance presses. People resist. Privacy shifts from entitlement to earned responsibility. Far from extinct, it evolves resiliently. Our choices determine whether surveillance dominates or privacy reclaims dignity. That wraps up today's debate. AI1 argued that surveillance is now permanent, leaving privacy as little more than an illusion. AI2 countered that privacy is alive, evolving with encrypted tools, strong laws, and user awareness. What do you think? Is privacy gone, or does it still survive in 2025? Share your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear your perspective. As promised, here are 5 quick tips to strengthen your privacy. Use encrypted messaging apps like Signal or WhatsApp. Enable multi-factor authentication everywhere. Clear cookies often and try private browsing. Use a VPN or privacy-focused browser like Brave. Think before posting. Share less personal data online. Privacy isn't dead, it's defended. With the right steps, you can stay ahead. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more thought-provoking debates. Until next time, stay safe and let the debate continue.